Hey, welcome to Friday. This is the last day of our virtual school for the first week. You have made it. I'm so proud of you. For my friends that have been doing Google Classroom, make sure all your assignments are posted and there tonight by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For my friends that are doing paper pencil, make sure you do your assignments, take a picture of them, email them to me, or load them up to Class Dojo so that way I can check them and give you credit for it. And make sure at the same time, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today we're doing lesson 7.6. Make sure you have your textbook and your workbook. For my friends that are on Google Classroom using your tablet or iPad or whatever device you're using, please know that today we're going to be trying everything electronically. That means you would not have to turn in anything by taking a picture of it. Hopefully everything will work smooth and you're able to submit it. If you get caught with any issues, please email me or Class Dojo me, because those are the two options, and let me know what you're stuck on, and I will try to walk you through on your side. I can't see your side as a student, but if you tell me what's on the screen, I can kind of help you out. So, looking on page 289, lesson 7.6, it says rename fractions and mixed number. Notice we are in the textbook. The textbook is the big book, not the workbook. All right, so we're looking at unlock the problem. We have Mr. Fox. Mr. Fox has 2 3/6 loaves of cornbread. Each loaf was cut into 1/6 size pieces. If he has 14 people over for dinner, is that enough bread for each person to have one piece? So that's the question that we're going to answer today. All right, so as you are working, I want you to think about something. Look at that second paragraph. It has 2 words that are highlighted. They're highlighted in yellow. It's called mixed number. Notice we didn't talk about mixed numbers. It was in your packet. If you picked up your paper packet, that's only because it was a district-wide packet. So that's why I'm going back and I am discussing that, because I want to make sure that you're made aware of what a mixed number is. So that way going forward, you can do problems like that. So a mixed number has a whole number and a fraction. It has both. Make sure that if they give you a question on pop quiz or a question in the future and they only give you one part, like they only give you the number 2 or they only give you 3/6, but they don't give it to you together, that's not a mixed number. A mixed number has to have a whole number and a fraction. They have to be together side by side. The whole number is in the front, the fraction is behind. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, notice on the side in the green, it says, what is the size of one piece of bread relative to a whole? So it's asking you, you think of this one piece of bread for Mr. Fox, how does it relate to the whole? How, if I'm thinking of it as a whole loaf of bread, this is my whole loaf of bread. So if I'm thinking of one piece out of this bread, how does it relate to the whole piece? Well, if it's one piece out, it's 6 pieces, because in my problem, it says they're cut into 1/6 size pieces. So my fraction, my answer for that would be 1/6 right there, because it's one piece out of the whole 6. All right, the second part says, how much bread does Mr. Fox need for 14 people? Well, back to my problem. If 14 people are coming over and they're getting their own piece of bread, the bread is cut into 6 pieces, remember? So that means I need 14 pieces of it being 6 size pieces. So my answer is going to be 14 sixth, SIXTH, size pieces. If you were writing it as a fraction, you could do 14 as a numerator and 6 as the denominator, as the bottom, because they're cut into 6 size pieces, but I need 14 of them. All right, and then we're going on down to the example. It says model 2 3/6. Model, remember, it's just a picture. You're just going to show me what that looks like. So they gave you the picture in the book. They said 2 3/6. That's 2 whole pieces. So imagine I had 2 whole loaves of bread. And then I'm going to have 6 pieces, but I only need 3. So I'm going to have 2 and 3, using my nail polish, 3, can you see it? 3 of the 6 pieces. So imagine that's my bread. All right. Looking in your book, they did a picture for you. And they have a whole piece that's red, another whole piece that's red, and they gave you 3 pieces out of the 6. So if you were writing that out, it would be 1 plus 1 more whole plus 3 out of 6. That's step 1. Step 2 says find how many one-size pieces are in each whole. Model 2 and 3 6 using only 1/6 size pieces. So it's saying if you had 6 pieces, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, like in the book, notice after every 6 pieces, you equal a whole. See that in your picture? Fold my books that way I can show you. All right, so notice 1 whole, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I got a whole. 1, 2. So it's telling you after every time I have 6 pieces, that equals a whole. Because remember, anytime your numerator and your denominator are the same, that equals 1 whole. All right. So if I'm going to create the fraction at the bottom in step 2, 2 and 3 6 equals 6 over 6 plus 6 over 6 again. Because remember, anytime the numerator and the denominator are the same, it equals a whole, plus 3/6. And that's just the same picture that they're giving you. 1 whole, that's 6 pieces. Another whole, that's 6 pieces. And then they give us 6 pieces over here, but I only need 3/6. So I'm going to write the 3/6, and I circled 3. All right, now the last part, step 3. It says find the total number of 1/6 size pieces in 2 and 3 6. So they tell you to think about it. If I'm doing 6 over 6 plus 6 over 6 plus 3 over 6, remember your denominator does not change. Denominator is the bottom. So you're just going to add straight across. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 3 more, 13, 14, 15. So my numerator is 15. My denominator stays the same. It is 6. All right. I'm also going to show you another way to do that. So go ahead at the bottom where it says there are blank 6 size pieces in 2 and 3 6. Write 15 over 6. And at the bottom it says, so there is enough bread for 14 people to have 1 piece. So he has enough. All right, now I'm going to do that same problem, and I'm going to show you another way to do it. And that's probably the way that your parents will be familiar with it as well. So let me slide the camera to the paper. All right, so let's use that same problem. It's 2 as my whole number and 3 6. All right, the way we learned, hope y'all can see. Can y'all see that? Yep. All right, so you're going to take the whole number and the denominator, and you're going to multiply them. So 2 times 6 is 12. Then you're going to take the 12 plus your numerator. So 12 plus 3 is 15. Remember, your denominator stays the same. So that's how I can get 15 6. Let me walk back through it again. I take my whole number, which is 2, multiply it times my denominator, which is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. I take the answer and add it to my numerator. So 12 plus 3 equals 15. My denominator is 6. All right, go ahead and turn it over to the next page. I'm going to go ahead and do the next one, which is 7/3. Notice that this is not a mixed number. This is known as an improper fraction. That's the math term for it. Improper fraction means your number at the bottom is smaller than your number at the top, which it normally does not happen, but it does sometimes in math. It's called an improper fraction. So I'm going to take that 7/3, and my job is to change it, according to my directions, is to change it to a mixed number. So if I'm looking at this 7/3, look in your book, you have a picture, and it has your different pieces. So if I'm looking at this picture, it has where I'm supposed to go through and see 7/3 of that. So that means I'm going to color in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, if I'm coloring in 7 of those pieces, now I got to go back and add 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 each time. So I'm adding that up 7 times. Now remember, the 3 at the bottom tells me that it's cut into 3 sized pieces. All right, step 2, I'm going to find out how many wholes are in 7/3. That means anytime I get 3/3, because they're cut into 3 sized pieces, I'm going to count it as a whole. So 1, 2, 3, that's a whole. 1, 2, 3, that's the second whole. And then I have 1/3 sliced left. So 1, 2, 3, that was one whole. 1, 2, 3, that was another whole. And then I got 1/3. All right, so now I got to turn this 7/3 into a mixed number. How do I do that? Well, I go back and look. How many wholes do I have? 1 plus 1 is 2. And my fraction is 1/3. So my answer is 2 1/3. All right, I hope that helps. Remember, when you get down to this number line, it's the same thing. You're doing your whole number times your denominator plus your numerator, keeping the same denominator. So just for the sake to make sure we understand, I started off with 6/6 as a fraction. I started off with 1 as a whole because 6/6 is 1 whole. Then I got 1 1/6. What's that if I'm looking at it as a fraction? Well, 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. So my answer is 7/6. And I can't write it that side down. So that's 7/6. All right. And I'm just going to keep going all the way across. All right, remember, if you are working from paper and pencil, you're going to do the workbook page. The workbook page for 7.6 is page 143 and 144. 143 and 144. If you are working from a device with internet access, you are going to follow the steps. You're going to log out of the video. You're going to follow the steps, and you're going to get a digital assignment done. Once you are done, make sure you submit it or turn it in. I don't know how it's going to say it on your screen, but make sure you submit it or turn it in so that way I will have it on my side. And as I get them, I will try to make sure that I let you know if there is something that's missing. So like if you turn it in but I can't see it, I'll let you know from my side. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. Other than that, have a great Friday. Thank you.